Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're continuing our series in the brand new Player's Handbook, talking about the backgrounds and how they've changed since the original 2014 rules. In the old days, backgrounds were just a way to add some skill proficiencies and maybe a ribbon feature that fleshed out your character a little bit. Now they are absolutely crux in character creation, granting you your ability score buffs that used to be with the species, as well as your origin feat, which is now granted to all characters, not just the custom lineage and the variant human, as well as some skill proficiencies and tool proficiencies and a bit of extra storytelling to boot. Today we're talking about one of my favorite backgrounds, the Sage. In the old days, a sage was just a way to get some more languages, some knowledge-based skills, and a fun way to work into the fact that your character, usually a wizard, but any kind of, knowledgeable character, high intelligence or a spellcaster, traveled and studied. And I love that niche. That's one of my favorite ways to tell stories. But how does it stack up with the new rules? How versatile can the sage be? Does it work for everybody? We'll talk about the mechanics of it in just a moment. But before we do, I'd like to let you know, Relax Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know that you're a supporter. But also you get early access to my videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I upload them a day early for members only. If that interests you, you can click the join button just down there next to the subscribe button. I'd love to see you in the comments with your member badge. If it doesn't interest you, that's totally fine too. Just liking the video, subscribing to the channel, watching the video at all. Just the fact that you're listening to me say this means you're supporting me, and I appreciate that you're here. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. So the Sage background. All backgrounds grant you 3 ability scores that you can increase. You can either choose a +2 and a +1 to 2 of them, or a +1 to all 3 of them, your decision. The Sage grants you Constitution, Intelligence, and Wisdom. Constitution is obviously handy for all characters, buffing your defenses, your hit points, etc. And Intelligence and Wisdom are 2 of the casting stats. So whether you're a wizard, a cleric, a druid, a ranger, these all work. And you can obviously throw your hand in with the monk if you want to throw wisdom and constitution in there. Any caster would love a constitution buff, and any martial character doesn't mind a buff to their wisdom. I mean, obviously you're not getting dex or strength, so martials probably aren't going to look here, but the con buff means that it's not useless for them. I think that this is a decent set of skills. I mean, you're not getting much as a charisma caster here. And, weapon users exclusively, like a barbarian, probably wouldn't look here much. But I think that there's enough here to merit it an 8 out of 10. Like, several casters are going to love this background almost exclusively. Wizards especially. Although a wizard might not want to take it because the feat that you get with this background is Magic Initiate Wizard. The new Magic Initiate feat is actually a significant improvement over the old one. It still grants you 2 cantrips and a first level spell of your choice from either the Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spell list. This specifies Wizard, but you can use your spellcasting ability modifier for it. You don't have to lean into the one that was from that class. And you can cast it with your spell slots. The old one said you just got a free casting of the first level spell. And because we're talking wizard here, where do I begin? Cantrips alone, you've got all the utility greats. Minor Illusion, Mage Hand, Message, Prestidigitation. And if you're looking for a combat trick, Firebolt, Ray of Frost, the brand new True Strike, highly recommend checking that one out. Toll the Dead, there's so much here. And as far as first level spells go, everyone talks about Find Familiar, and yes, Find Familiar is great, can't recommend it highly enough. But you don't have to do that. For utility purposes, grab Charm Person, Comprehend Languages, Disguise Self. For combat purposes, Magic Missile, Shield, mage armor. There are lots of spells in the wizard book. They are unequivocally the best spell list in all of the classes, and the Magic Initiate Wizard feat is well worthy of a 10 out of 10. Whether you're a caster and you're just adding these to your list of spells that you can cast using your own stats, or whether you're a martial character who just wants an emergency shield, an emergency disguise self, or a familiar by your side, along with some fun cantrips to pick from, I think that the Magic Initiate feat, especially the wizard variety, is a 10 out of 10. Then you do get 2 skill proficiencies, Arcana and History, both decent skills. Arcana teaches you all about magic and the greater planes, and the history feature teaches you about world culture, military strategies, kingdoms rising and falling, all sorts of cool stuff. And if you lean into your intelligence, these are going to be very valuable skills. I give them 9 out of 10 and 8 out of 10, respectively. Finally, you get Calligrapher's Supplies, and in the old days, I could have just as easily given this because it's fancy writing. You're able to make words that are hard to forge because your handwriting is so flourished. But now Calligrapher Supplies has one nice feature that's attached to it that's right in the description of the toolset. You can make spell scrolls with these. You don't even need to have the Arcana skill anymore. I mean, you can do it with that. But just having proficiency in Calligrapher Supplies means you can write your own spell scrolls basically all you want. You spend the gold, you spend the time, you have the spell scroll. This makes the Calligrapher Supplies greatly increase in stock. And yes, this background gives you Arcana, but I just love these tools so much now, and I want them on all my casters. I want the Calligrapher Supplies all the time so I can write all the scrolls. It's great, and I gotta give those an 8 out of 10 just for that alone. All in all, the Sage really sells itself to me. And maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm just a wizard simp who really loves to get Magic Initiate, Calligrapher Supplies, and Intelligence and Constitution. This thing was handcrafted for a wizard. But any other wisdom-based class or casting class could get something out of this. And Magic Initiate Wizard works great for anyone. I think that this is a 9 out of 10 background. I think that it is hard to go wrong here. Unless you are specifically playing a Charisma caster who wants Dex instead of Con, and doesn't care about crafting spell scrolls or getting wizard spells for some reason, you can't really go wrong with this. And yeah, those builds exist, and that's why it's a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. I think Sage is one of the best backgrounds in the game, and I highly recommend anyone give it a try if they're looking to spice up their world with a bit of magic and a bit of knowledge. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more background reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.